Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Bitches. We are back. My name is Rachel Bonetta, joined by two of my best buds, Sarah, Tiana, Megan, Gailey. Okay, listen. Do we need to apologize for living our lives and taking a damn week off in the off season?
But it's not it's your off season because you care about football. It's not my off season. It's not Sarah's off season. As you sit there in your Dodgers hat.
You know what? Then I'm going to sit back and let you guys take the floor because I feel like we come on here every week and we bare our souls. And as one of us is carrying a with child, and I think we deserve a week off. I don't think there's anything to apologize for, is what I'm saying.
I'm thrilled to have the floor because, Rachel, and not only are you in trouble, your husband is now in trouble. Mm-hmm. Your husband was given an extension on you. If you guys need a reminder, Rachel did not fill out any brackets. Mm-hmm. Not a men,
but if I did, I actually had like a little like a little rough draft, and I had Florida at the top, and I also had UConn at the top. So I misplaced it.
Sure, you did.
You misplaced
I'll look for it.
And the thing is, Conrad finished dead last. He's still above you. Like he still did better than you. So last time we were on here, you were very remorseful. I said we gave Zach a task of coming up with, a fun little punishment that he tells us something, an embarrassing fact about you. Now we go a week off, easy to forget. I go out of my busy schedule. I got a lot going on, a lot. Text your husband last night. Hey, don't forget that I've forgotten you have a 1 p.m. deadline tomorrow because we're recording a little later. Not only did he not do it, he didn't even reply. So I've now been left on red by you and your husband.
I think he is scared to do both. I think he's scared to upset you, and I think he's scared to divulge some sort of information that I don't want out there.
Well, now
how do we rectify this situation? How do we rectify this?
The punishment has to go bigger. Now he's made it worse for himself.
Okay.
And now I want to open it up to the Discord for them to decide what the punishment is, because I was being nice by going, it'll be like, I went on a podcast yesterday and talked about how I poop my pants all the time for 30 minutes. No biggie.
I was just like, tell her this, tell her that. And he's like, no, we don't want to say anything bad about you. Sorry, I have an amazing husband.
No, I actually think that's a red flag.
Chris and CJ. Chris and
CJ
would be like,
shit
I don't even need, they wouldn't even need you to ask them. They're like, they would just be volunteering that information about us.
Thrilled to do that.
Discord, you guys let us know what the punishment is. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm sorry, I was going through some stuff the last few weeks.
This is punishment for Rachel and punishment for Zach now. Zach needs to be punished and Rachel needs to be punished.
Okay. I apologize, okay? I apologize. I wanted to be a part of the crew. And I dropped the ball. Sarah, what do you have to say for yourself? What have you been up to?
I've been knee deep in all these tournament games, honestly. And then, I've been doing a lot for my Women's Sports Now show because we have these Miller Lite Spotlight interviews, and then it's like, and I do the interviews, so it's like all this extra prep work. So I've been doing it, and it's like,
no. Oh, is it a coyote?
Is it a coyote?
Megan's shooing something from her window. Was that a coyote? Was it the sick-looking one?
No, it was the fine one.
Oh, the healthy one. That's not good.
If it's the sick one, and the thing is, it's not today. He just came. You picked a bad day, bud. Any other day, I go, get on through, go get yourself a Japanese plum or a Buddha hand. Not today. Get to fucking stepping. Sorry.
Okay, we're coming in with heat today.
Yeah.
We're coming in with heat. Well, Sarah, now that the championship is over, UConn, what's next? What's next for your show?
The draft is Monday. The WNBA draft is Monday, and then there's also a big the USA versus I think it's Brazil friendly tonight, like in soccer. So we did the US Brazil Friday last week. That was like the rematch from the Olympics, but there's
Yeah, and
another
I
one
saw
tonight.
a lot of people in attendance for that one versus
At SoFi, yeah.
for the
I
men's
think
team.
the women had 7 times the attendance of the men.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Um,
what's really nice that I've been noticing online? Like people before would have been like, "Oh, well that's because like one of them is this and we're all stuck at work and da da da." But now I'm looking at the comments and it's like, "Well, yeah, because the women's team is way better than the men's." Like
way
what we've
better,
been talking about.
way better,
And I feel
way
like that's
better.
nice. The Discord is sort of changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also, as you mentioned, the WNBA draft, we got to give it up to one of our favorite gals, Paige Beckers, wins with UConn. I did actually fill out a draft, and I had South Carolina and UConn in the championship with
Wow.
UConn winning. I don't think, given everything she's gone through with the injury, the losing to Iowa last year, now this redemption, obviously going to be the number one pick in the WNBA draft. You could not write a better storybook ending to
Hmm.
her college career.
Did you see
Mhm.
that video of her when she's like 12 years old saying like, I just want to win a national championship and then go number one in the in the draft? It
We're
was
gonna
like,
do
oh my
it.
Where
gosh.
is she gonna
Ugh.
go? Where do you who's
Dallas.
got the number one pick?
Dallas Wings have the number
That's
one pick.
And you
So
know
fun. I
what?
can't wait to see the outfits. I love the WNBA draft. They always
mhm.
look so fucking cool.
And you know what? Dallas needs some good news.
Yeah.
Like Dallas deserves some basketball
Dallas is
happiness to be bestowed upon them.
They really do.
Yeah, every video that comes out, her and Gino hugging, Gino putting the net around his baby granddaughter with her little baby
mhm.
pigtails, like it just feels so good and so sweet. And I'm like genuinely so happy for her.
I think also Gino has just been so great about being vocal about the growth that still needs to happen for the women's
Hmm.
tournament. You know, the women have less days to recover than the men do between different rounds and then the flying to the regions as opposed to just having them, you know, in specific cities the whole time like the men do. So it's like and like change doesn't happen unless somebody as famous as Gino Ariema like says something. It
Hmm.
takes, you know, like it takes Greg Popovich to make change
Hmm.
in you know, and Steve Kerr, like the most famous coaches and the most famous players. Like that's when change really starts to happen. So kudos to Gino for always saying the right thing when
Hmm.
it comes to the
Was it last
disparity.
year that the locker rooms went like super viral? The men's
The
versus
weight
the
room,
women's. Like the
it
That
weight
was
was
room was
2 years
it was like, yeah,
ago.
disgusting.
2 years. And they
Yeah.
were,
Okay.
it looked like a courtyard
Jail.
Marriott, at best. And
Yeah.
then there was this moment, I believe it was after the national championship where Gina was like, I've been doing this 40 years. I've never seen so many women in the press room. And so it's
Oh,
like,
I saw
not
that. And
only
he was like,
is
"I'm
it,
really proud of you."
I know, which like some people would say is condescending, but it's like,
I know. I did think that for a sec.
All I want is Gina to be proud of me. But it's like it's not only expanding on the court, it also means that like the people that are covering it, that has also changed as well.
I'll also give a little bit of grace. Like, yes, maybe it came across as a little condescending, but like these guys are dealing with this stuff in real time, and he's like an
Yeah.
old man, and like he's doing
Hmm.
his best. I
Yeah.
think it had really good intentions. It was not meant. It wasn't like fucking Cam Newton being
And
like,
you know
"Wow."
what? Even when I look back on Cam Newton, I'm like, he
It
don't
is
look at his
weird.
hats. Look at his
I don't know.
hats. He don't
But
know.
I never really thought I never took that as condescending because it is
Yeah.
different. Like Gino's been there. He's seen the growth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
He knew what it looked like before. This is all new. This is new for
Mm-hmm.
men, just like it's new for women. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with saying like, "Hey, times they are a changing," and like
Hmm.
it's a good thing. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
I
I
think that's
agree. I
the
think it was
growth of the
sweet.
sport is you can see how it's starting to marinate and trickle down.
Yeah.
Like you see these videos of Paige saying she's going to play in the WNBA and go number one in the draft. Like that shit didn't happen 20 years ago with little girls. Like now little girls have the braids in their hair just like Paige and they're coming to the games
I
and they're
want the
crying when they see
braids.
her. You know what I mean? It's like it's like that, you know, what basketball is doing is creating stars. It's something
Hmm.
that's more difficult in the men's tournament because they leave earlier. But
Yeah.
it's like what the women's tournament has are stars and celebrities. And like even without Juju there, it was still, you know,
Oh yeah. And,
still
and
fun.
and I think seeing Paige win makes it go, oh, Juju's gonna be back and win.
Yeah, next
Like
year's gonna be so. Yeah.
Paige
Well,
has She
It's gonna be
might. She
tough though,
might.
because AZ Fudd and Sarah Strong
I
are
know. I
insane,
wish
and nobody ever leaves UConn. So it's kind of like, the transfer portal is open, and Lauren Vett's
AZ.
sister's coming
Yeah.
to UCLA. So it's like, whew, I don't know,
AZ
man.
Fudd is a top
Oh,
notch sports name. I wish my
top.
name was AZ
AZ
Fudd.
Fudd.
Like,
It's like the girl. Did you see the woman that almost won the women's amateur at Augusta this last week? Her name was
mm-mm.
Asterisk Tally.
What
Asterisk.
are we
Yeah.
doing, guys?
I'm
That's
like,
so
what?
Aster's a cool nickname. Aster.
Yeah, I
but
guess it
like
means star in Greek. So
okay,
it's
because
like
like
an
a lot of time,
asterisk tally, weird name for golf.
yes, it's like
Very-
this was you took a mulligan on this kid.
I can't wait for I can't wait for the Masters.
Um,
It's this weekend. Time to
I
have
know
some naps. Time to
it's
get cozy.
it
Yeah.
is this week. I'm really, really excited. I'm seeing some of the worst people I still follow down there. Um,
What do you
the
mean?
Where, down where? What do you mean?
just
What are you talking about?
just like people I went to college with that suck are like, I'm here, and it's like, how are you there?
Oh,
Oh,
I
at
see, I see.
Augusta.
I was like, are
Yeah.
you going to Augusta this year and you're
No,
not
I
telling us?
wish. I wish.
I really
but
want to
we're
enter
on
the lottery for next year. Can we do that?
Oh,
Yeah, of
yeah, we
course.
should. Chris
What if
always
we go
enters
to a
our whole family like 20 times.
Meg, what if we do Augusta for your 40th?
What if Zach's punishment is he has to get us all
Oh, yeah.
Masters passes?
I'm on it. I'll
Make
do
it
some,
happen.
Funny. It is so
Okay.
hard.
While the WNBA and women's basketball, it's all coming together. It's all soaring. The NBA is drama. Today I got an alert on my phone that I was like, this can't even be right. The Nuggets fired head coach Michael Malone. There's 5 games left. It's the latest a coach has ever been fired. The Nuggets are in 4th place. They are going to the playoffs. This is
Yeah.
happening for them. They also fired their GM, Calvin Booth, and that does sound like an 1800s presidential candidate.
Have they fired him or they're just not renewing his contract? So
They're
he
not
will be there throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, but he's leaving because there's nothing for them to, like there's a GM isn't really even doing anything at this point.
Yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
like a sweet time for them. It's like, if you're a senior and you get to skip all your finals. I was shocked by this. Like the
Yeah.
the Pacers are also in 4th place in the East. If they fired Rick Carlisle right now, I would burn my house down. Like
With the
it's so-
coyote in it.
Yes, I would throw the coyote in it. It's so crazy. This man won a title 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's the first title in franchise history. That's crazy.
Gotta be something. Is it like something like
I-
Celtics coachy where he's like, having sex with
It's
someone
gotta
in the office?
be. It's the only thing that I can drum up is like obviously the two of them didn't get along. They go
They hated
periods
each
without
other.
talking to each other. So I think that the overall leadership was like, okay, well we got to get rid of one of them, and then they decided to get rid of both of them. It's
On
just
the E.
crazy timing. Can you not just say, hey fuckers, don't talk to each other for the next few months? And then we'll be
Yes.
good, and then we're gonna figure out what to do with you both in the off season. But like to fire, like it just seems really crazy.
And like, so the Nuggets are 3-7 over their last 10 games. They played the Pacers this past weekend, and Jokic had 31 in the first half, and then they still lost. So there are things happening like that where he is going off and then they're still losing. But there have been players hurt. The West is also really good, and all these teams from like 2 to 6 are like 2 games apart. It's not like they've fallen off some massive hill a la the Suns. Like they are good. They are contenders. Like they're in the hunt, and now they're just going to be like, yeah, we're going to have an interim coach. It's when Taylor Jenkins got fired, everyone was like, whoa, that was late. And they're in a worse situation. The Nuggets are set up way more for success. They're in a win now. I'm like, did he do
Maybe
something
that's-
to his horse? Like, what
mean-
the?
Maybe that's why they felt like they could make the decision, though. Like they've got their core group, they've got the foundation to win. If this guy was like causing unnecessary drama that was taking away, like we always talk about the locker room, we always talk about
Yeah.
like what's going on behind the games that none of us are seeing, and it's like there had to be some infighting. If there was already tension, it was probably spilling over onto the team, and they were like, we don't fucking need this. We have a good roster. Like we're gonna make it into the like just get rid of this guy
Yeah.
and let's finish off the season.
You know what sadly has been happening, and I say sadly because he's one of my favorites of all time. Russell Westbrook is on this team. He did cost them like an overtime game, and I think he is getting some of this blame. And it's like he's not to blame. Like he's like a role player, but he's just like a famous name, and I think he's gonna get some of this blame. And it's like, no, this is kind of chaotic.
I don't. Yeah, that's stupid. Westbrook is literally one of the best athletes I've ever had the
Angel.
pleasure of even being in the same room as.
Oh.
Angel,
Yeah.
Angel, really nice. Hot too.
Gorgeous angel. Yeah. But like, what happens to that coach? Like, and
pay
who
him.
did they hire?
They have an interim, an assistant, all these NBA. That's what's so funny about this quote unquote brawl that happened between the Pistons and now I'm forgetting, is like everyone's like, who are all these people? And it's like they all have like 15 assistant coaches. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
an assistant's gonna step up, but that's insane this close to the playoffs. And because the teams are this close, they could fall. They could find themselves in a situation where they're in the play-in because it's that tight in the West. So that's why the drama in all of us, the Gossip Girls, is like there's got to be something because
I think,
you
yeah.
you look at Michael Malone and you go, I don't even think that man's capable of ruining a locker room. Like he's just so vanilla.
But like
Yeah.
obviously there's some like if they were going months without talking, like obviously
Yeah.
there's a little bit of spice.
With the GM, yeah.
I know where Shams does yoga. Should I
Yeah.
go in there, set up shop next to Shams and be like, hey, what the
Where does he do
That's so
yoga?
interesting.
I can't tell you. I can't out him like that.
Men can't like squash the beat. Like usually they're
Fight.
so quick.
Slap each other.
Yeah, usually they're so quick to like to bury the hatchet. Like women are the ones that hold grudges for years. So it's kind of weird that like they wouldn't get along to that capacity.
Unless
Uh-huh. Oh,
spicy's
somebody
going
boning
down.
somebody's wife. Somebody
I
boning
always
somebody's
love that
There's no
storyline.
other explanation.
That's our
there's
favorite.
nothing else.
That's the
Yeah.
thing that
It's
we
magical.
go to automatically.
Baby, wife is having secret baby with coach
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
With Michael
there's
Malone.
gotta be
How
something
many
like-
times did we pitch the story of Nick Sirianni having sex with a player's wife? Multiple times.
That's the only thing.
Times.
We have no other ideas.
Yeah.
I saw that Colin Gillespie, former Nuggets player, tweeted nasty work, but then immediately deleted it. And I do remember when he was younger and playing in college, I always used to call him Colin Giuseppe because I could never read his name right on the teleprompter. But anyways,
Colin
people are reacting.
Giuseppe.
Hey, Giuseppe.
Yeah. I
He's
mean-
he's the one that killed that healthcare CEO, right? Colin Giuseppe.
And you know what? That's what he was talking about when
Yes.
he said nasty work.
Nasty
He said,
work.
ooh, I just got
The
my
American
copay. Nasty work. So the West is chaotic. Even without this, it was going to be like pretty chaos. The Thunder.
I'm liking this. All this drama in the
Well,
NBA this season is
Oh, yeah.
fucking
That's
fun.
what it has to be. It's a TV show. You have
Has
to
to.
have drama if you want people to watch. Remember at the beginning of the year, and we're like, even the first 2 months of the season, they were like, viewership is down. Viewership is down. Nobody's watching. Guess what? They watching now for the drama. That's
Yeah.
exactly what you need. If you do not have viewership, insert some drama. Fire your coach with, a month, however much time is left.
Now, can I give you guys a hard pitch on the Pacers right now? I know how, listen, no, I'm not even going to bore you with X's and O's. Listen, they're doing incredible dunks. We love them. Tyrese Halliburton unveiled a custom Puma All-Pro Nitro PE shoe inspired by his golden brown dog, Amos.
Okay, I'm into that.
Ames.
I'm into that. But you said 17 words in the
Yeah,
title
you
of
said
the show, and
17
none of
words,
them
and then you
made
said
sense.
Ames wrong.
Okay, so the dog is inspired by Ames because I think he went to Iowa State. The shoe was inspired by him. He brought the dog to the game with the shoe. Now,
Aw.
my mom has met this dog many times, and she said the dog, he lives in my parents' neighborhood. He lives in my parents'
My mom has met this dog several times. She's
Yeah.
never met Tyrese,
She better
just the
fucking
dog.
get an Air
No,
Max double plus 1250
Yeah,
she's
Max
met Tyrese.
Amos
She's met
stretch.
Ames with Tyrese, and she says the dog is so sweet and so adorable, and that
Oh,
he loves this dog so much. And I found out yesterday that Tyrese Halliburton also has the most 20-point, 10 assists, zero turnover games of anyone ever. So, can
Wow.
those two things, do those make you go, huh?
Can you read the name of the
no.
shoe one more time?
Yeah.
Yes, one more time.
Yes.
Puma All Pro Nitro PE, inspired by his dog, Ames.
I do
That
not know
was
if your mom
10
is to be
words.
trusted on like on dogs. Is
She said
your
he's, oh,
you guys have only ever had that like fancy dog that only like
that
British
is not
royalty
true.
have?
That is not true. We had a pound puppy, Jimmy, who went crazy.
Oh.
And my mom knows every dog in this neighborhood. Like it, if you want to trust somebody about dogs, you ask a white bitch in a gated neighborhood because she knows she knows about those dogs.
She's like imagine if somebody moved in and their dog didn't have a collar. She'd be like, "Oh,
Oh, the
did your mom?"
HOA would have a
Yeah.
fit.
Your mom's like, "They're eating
She's
the
got one of
dogs.
those.
They're
She's
eating
got
the
one of
cats."
those chip scanners.
Hide your Pumas. Hide your Puma All Pro Nitros. I'm really
Okay,
proud.
we're in. That's
I'm
great.
proud of the Pacers. The Pistons have also clinched a playoff spot for the first time since the 2018-2019 season. It is one of the biggest comebacks. Like last year, they had a historically bad season. This year, they've brought it all the way around. It was a coaching change. One of their star players had a traumatic leg injury and is out for the season. So I'm very, very proud of them. Dame Lillard is out for the Bucks. The Celtics are strongly in the second seed. The Cavs have soared out to the first.
Wow.
So the East is a little bit more solidified. I do think the NBA playoffs are too long, but are going to be exciting.
I'll
But the
watch. I
West is
always watch the
still
playoffs.
Oklahoma dominating still.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And then everyone behind them, it's
Very much
changing.
dominating.
It's changing every day.
I haven't been
Um,
watching boy sports.
can we can we talk about Ja Morant really, really quick?
Yeah.
This was
I have
in the
seen this.
rundown, and I literally had to double check, being like, wait, what rundown is this? What year is this from? I literally was just like, is this an old rundown? Because every single year, this guy is being suspended. Okay, so what? Back in 2023, he flashed the gun hand signal after he scored whatever
No, this was
8
after.
games.
Yeah, but you're saying like initially he was suspended for having a gun on Instagram Live or whatever.
Yes.
Oh, was that it? Okay, and then the
And
second
then-
25
At a
game
strip club or
suspension.
something.
No, and then there was another incident where it was perhaps alleged that he brought a gun out in front of a minor at like a pickup game.
Oh,
I believe
right.
that kid was 12 years old, is what I just read.
Mhm.
I thought he was 17. Not
But
either
wearing
way.
the
I
Pro
think he was a
Max
kid.
Super Puma
So he
tennis
could
shoe
jump
with the dog.
007s.
He could
The
jump high.
hangers.
He was big. Okay, so okay.
Okay.
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
8 game
Last-
suspension, then 25 game suspension. And then on Thursday, he was warned by the league, do not do this. And then he did it again, and he was fined $75,000. So at least they're not suspending him anymore. But my question is why? And I know, I was just reading this article on Yahoo that was just like, Ja is not the victim here. Like he is to blame. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, you're just dragging him through the mud because you don't like him. Da, 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 da. I understand that other players do that as a celebration, but not other players have a history of showing a gun to a 12-year-old. I got to get this
Yes.
number right while you guys discuss. It might
There,
not be 12.
you're also forgetting there was probably because it's not in the article I'm reading. There was an incident where like his friends, his crew were showing laser pointers and flashing them like they were maybe gonna shoot a gun at Pacers personnel in the tunnel after a game. So he feels like he's being targeted, and the NBA says you have a history of this, and so that is why we were doing this. I love Ja.
Yeah.
I really do. I think the game is better with him. I think he's so fun. I think he's such a cutie. I love his daughter. His dad cracks me up. Even when his dad is sitting courtside with like an OnlyFans model, I go, I love it. Get a Christmas card. But like, I just wish there was a way that he could like, I don't know. And maybe this is like the old white woman in me. I just am like, can we find like a slightly different way to celebrate that that allows you to be you and on the feet, on the court? Can we do that?
I'm just so surprised that he had a path to really turn this around and be like an advocate against guns and gun violence, because I was reading in the article that like several of his friends had died from gun violence, and it's like you could really turn this into something good, but instead it just really, I think, shows his age and like how immature he is. And I understand wanting to stand up to the league and wanting your voice to be heard, but this is just not
Yeah,
the
this
thing.
is not
Given
the
your
hill to die on.
history,
No, it's a weird
not.
hill.
If
It's
it
a weird
wasn't
hill to die
your
on.
history, then sure, whatever. Maybe that's like your thing.
What about like
But
a bow
because
and
you
arrow?
punched people in the face,
Yeah.
threatened security guards, etc., then it's like, bro, grow the fuck up.
Don't they do that
Yeah.
in football? Doesn't someone have
That's
the,
Yes.
Travis Kelce does that.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
You could also do like, I don't know, like nunchucks. Like if you want to go weapons based, we can throw out some weapons ideas.
Unsheath a
None
sword.
Yes.
chucks.
Yes.
Did you say
Nunchucks.
nunchucks?
None.
None your business, chucks.
Yeah, nunchucks. N-U-N.
Oh, okay. You
learn
learn
something
something
new
new
every
every
day.
day.
So what do we think he has come out and said, I don't give a fuck anymore.
He has
So-
come out and said,
Um,
I've been a villain and I don't care. And it's like, well,
so
that's-
he's going to continue to do this and get
Not gonna
suspended and hurt his team.
Yeah.
Because now that they know the $75,000 is not going to do anything,
that's nothing to
They're
him.
gonna have to take games away.
they're going to have to take
Yeah.
games away, and that fucking sucks for everyone else.
And he has major deals outside of this. So it's like, even if you're like, fuck the NBA, it's like, dog, you're a Nike athlete. I know you probably want Gatorade money. I know you want a Ja Morant McDonald's deal. Like, it's bigger than just basketball. This starts to impact the amount of money you can make outside of the sport. And I know you don't want to do that.
It also is just so fascinating to me when people are obsessed with guns, because to me it's like usually people who are obsessed with guns are people who feel powerless, who feel like they need to have some sort of strength or show strength, and it's like this false image of strength, right? It's like, look how tough I am, because you feel broken and powerless on the inside. So part of me is like, why does this man who is so dominant in the NBA feel broken and powerless on the inside? And that's me making a generalization about gun owners and guns
I
in
like it.
general.
I
But
think that checks out, actually.
I'm like, this is
yeah.
a guy. I'm like, listen, just be a good
You're a
shooter from the
badass.
3-point line. You don't have to be a good shooter after you score.
Totally. And I think that that's also the bummer, is that he is like putting
Yeah.
up these incredible shots and then turning around and being like, bro, what the fuck? We just want to celebrate you. We are begging to celebrate you.
Yeah.
And you're just making it incredibly difficult for everyone.
What was
I
LeBron
was-
talking about, the face of the league, or somebody
Yeah.
was saying they don't want to be, wasn't that a whole conversation?
That it's like hard and that it sucks and that you have a spotlight on you. And it's like, yeah, but LeBron, they're making a Ken doll after you. So like, it's a yin and a yang. I was flying recently and I saw a man in a shirt, because men love to wear their like gun shirts at the airport.
I know. Yeah.
So I saw this
'Cause they
man.
can't carry it with them.
Yeah,
on
it's
the
like,
plane.
okay, cool. And he had on a shirt that said "Girl Dad," and so I'm already, and the eye was a rifle. It was
No.
a- yes, and then his 2-year-old daughter was sitting on his lap, like watching Bluey. And I'm just
Listen,
like, you're
Was
weird.
she wearing a bluey shirt and Blue is holding a gun also?
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. Like, I don't mind a shotgun, or like, I think
No, this was like an AK.
even like, yeah, those are just like so weak to me, because I'm like, to me an AK says like, I don't know how to aim at things. Like, I have no
Airport.
skills. I just like, I bet on every number when it comes to roulette. Like, I just like, I don't care about winning. I just want to hit something. And it's like, at least if you're going to own a weapon, like find some skill in it. Like,
And this
it's
we
it's
should
a
start
god dang
yeah.
Olympic sport.
this man, he looked like an accountant. Like it was like he didn't, like sometimes you see like a big necked guy and you're like, okay, you love guns and you probably could like crush my skull and like that's your thing.
Mhm.
This guy was like a twerp. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh
Well, that's
no. I know.
back on
Sarah,
Sarah's theory.
twerpy,
You need
twerpy
a
boy.
gun to feel strong.
Mhm.
Not a wife in sight. As I look back, I'm like, where was the mom? I didn't see her. I didn't see her.
She was at work, I guess.
She probably left his ass. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know where we stand on the Jaw thing, but he's 25, so I guess we could
We
just
want
chalk
him.
it up to
Hope
him
he
being-
grows up.
Grow
Yeah.
up. We want to cheer for you. You're an incredible basketball player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and like, yeah, I love him. I really do. Um, the baseball's back, and the Dodgers
baseball.
are the Dodgers are off to a incredible start. They started the season 8-0, first time reigning World Series champions have ever done that. And because they're World Series champions, they took a little trip down to old DC. They said, we're playing the Nationals. Let's take a stop at the White House. And so they went to the White House on Monday. And it's one of those things, again, where I'm like, well, this is the team I like, so I'm not even going to be mad at them. Not everyone went.
Right, because they were worried they were going to get deported.
Thank you. And then every picture of Shohei and Trump, every comment was he wants to deport him so bad. Like it's like this is an international team. One of the Dodgers players, I'm going to look up who it was because it was so funny, posted a picture of him and his daughter, and he said, "In my brown house," and it's just him and his daughter outside of his house because he didn't go. And people are mad at them. Clayton Kershaw obviously had a boner the whole time.
Of course.
Like some of them were
Trinan. Yeah.
Some of them were into it. I bet Shohei was like, I'm gonna, how I like kind of can speak English. I'm gonna like pretend today like really can't.
Did you see that Trump was like, this guy's so handsome, he's going places. Like you're like, oh my God, you know nothing. Like you know nothing.
He always talks about men like being hot in a way that's like,
And his daughter.
yeah,
because he doesn't
lest we
know
forget.
how else to give compliments,
Yeah.
Like, but it's like I Shohei is going to be a billionaire, so I could just if I were Trump, I would have made some sort of tariff joke to start.
Yeah.
40% of that
To really warm up the
comes back to
room.
us.
Gratterall is
Oh yeah,
he did
he's
not
great.
go. And he was the one that posted a picture of him and his daughter and said, "In my brown house." And he's Venezuelan. And that, this administration has deported 75 Venezuelan men to an El Salvadorian prison. So I get why he was like, I'm good.
It's actually
Maybe.
my immigration lawyer emailed me the other day and she's like, FYI, you're cleared to get your citizenship and you should think about doing that before you go home.
Do you still want it?
Well, I mean, I want to see my family with being able to come
Yeah.
back. So
Yeah,
You'd
yeah,
have
yeah.
dual, right? You'd have dual.
I'd have dual, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
Right now, I
dream.
just have my green card, so I should be able to pass back and forth. But they're just stopping people willy nilly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry to bring down the vibes.
No, I said El Salvadorian prison before you did. So,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
it's my bad.
But then the Dodgers lost to the Nationals, so
Yeah.
just gonna say,
No.
So-
No, they probably got poisoned.
The
By
Eagles never ended up going, right?
no. The
There was a
Eagles
lot of back
didn't
and
go.
forth there. I understand
they
the
haven't
want
gone.
to go to the White House. Like that would be cool. But like
Yeah.
go for a meeting where you're advocating for something that's important to you. You don't need to go and be like, oh, Mr. President.
So Shohei posted like a carousel, and of him at the White House, and there's no pictures of Trump. And
Okay, I like that.
like you, yeah, it's like there's not even like team pictures. He didn't like it was just like him standing different places. It's like, yeah, I get like,
Yeah.
even when the Eagles said they didn't want to go, it's like I get being able to like go into the Lincoln bedroom because you
Yeah.
can hit a fastball. Like that seems like a really fun reason to get to do it. It would just suck to have to like listen to this man because then like at one point Trump's like talking about all the like senators and congress people that are like from Los Angeles. And then he's like, I'm not even going to call some of you out. And like some people are laughing. And then like Dave Roberts is like, what the fuck? This is weird.
I
Why are you being
feel
weird?
like let's just do away with this completely. All
Yeah.
championship wins, like don't it's such a political statement now that these
Mhm.
athletes like just let them go and fucking play their sport. And if they want to go and meet the president, they can go and do that. But don't make them. Like this poor guy that you were telling us about, Meg, he's probably dealing with so much bullshit that he doesn't need to right now with his
Yeah.
kid.
If the president's black, they should have to go.
Oh, okay, yeah, I actually agree with that.
Because when they met Obama, you were like, they're excited.
That
You
was
know, like even if they
that
don't
was
even
actually
know
really cool.
anything about them, but they're like, damn, I just dapped up the president. Like, they would have loved to meet Kamala. Would have loved it.
Mhm.
Yeah, but okay, Republicans wouldn't have like flipped their shit at athletes going to go and see Obama. Like it's just times are different now.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If they're black, they should go.
Okay. Can we talk about White Lotus?
Yeah.
That was at the top of our rundown
I know.
and we've pushed it.
Mhm.
Okay, I I didn't love this season. I didn't
Yeah.
love it. Did
I
you
love
come
the
around on it,
whole
Meg?
thing.
Because I felt like, okay, yeah, you guys loved the whole thing. Talk to me about
I
it. What
did.
did you?
I don't know about Megan, but I loved the whole thing.
Sarah, you go. You go.
Well, I think it was a slow burn. I think the great thing about White Lotus is the character development and the character arcs through the season and like seeing people. And obviously Parker Posey's character was
Amazing.
one of the
Mhm.
greatest characters I've seen on TV in a long time. I thought that whole family was fascinating.
Mhm.
The one thing I didn't like about the show is I definitely wanted to see what it was going to be like for her to not have money.
Yeah.
Uh, so that I felt like was kind of a lazy out, but
Mhm.
I did feel like Rick's storyline with his dad was like interesting and guy talk. I just felt like a lot of the characters went somewhere, and especially the three friends. I thought that
Mhm.
that was handled in a really mature way where it would have been really easy for them to just have a fight and like all leave separately. But instead, they sat in the discomfort and it just felt so much more real to me. So
Mhm.
I guess the show itself felt a little bit more realistic than TV, I
That's
guess.
I
a
get what you're saying.
valid point. Listen, Mike White's a genius and the worlds that he create are amazing. I just think that here are my things that I'm going to push back on. I actually loved the finale. The finale sort of like brought it back for me. I was just like, okay, maybe this season wasn't that slow because the finale was jam-packed. Us learning at the very last minute that all along that was that dude's dad. I was just like,
Oh,
what?
I
oh,
knew
I
that
thought I
from
saw. I knew that.
I knew
I
that
was
from the
like,
beginning.
yeah, I was like, there's no way that's not already his dad.
I
I don't
thought
know. That felt to me. I
I
was just
thought
like,
based it just was too heavy-handed of like he took my dad, he took my dad, he took my dad that I was like that's got to be his dad. And then I saw like um a conspiracy that the wife, the famous Thai actress was actually his dad and had transitioned.
Oh, that would have been
I
way
like
more. That would have been
that.
pretty
That would have been
interesting.
fun.
And then the other
I
thing that
think.
I'll push back on is that final chat between the three women and Carrie Coon's character is just
Ugh.
unraveling incredible monologue. She has hated every single step and every single minute with these girls. So to be like, I actually love you, it just felt like it was going in a different direction. And maybe that's what he was trying to do, trying to like surprise us by her saying like, actually, I love all of you guys and I'm so grateful that I was here. But I felt like all week she was just showing us that she actually hated these two women. And then
Mhm.
for her to come back around, I will say I would have totally accepted that speech if it was on the boat ride after they had just watched a bunch of people get shot. That would have made
See, I
sense.
think that speech is in response to her realizing that they were right, that she makes decisions on her own and blames everyone else. And when she
Mm.
wakes up after sleeping with a guy who's just trying to take her money, who didn't actually care about her, she realized they're
Devastating.
right. They're right. And like all I really have is time and growth. And the reason I have these friends is because they still love me, even though I continue to make terrible life decisions that
Yeah.
I blame everyone else for. And that's what real friendship is.
Mm. Wow.
I just felt like she
Um
was kind of letting the other two get away with their bullshit and being like just
Yeah.
sort of shrinking herself
Well,
again.
also
which like
call it like I thought that she should have called the actor. Like she was like, "You're vain." I was like, "No, she's a manipulator." Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's not just the
yeah.
vanity; it's that she manipulated every conversation.
You're
And
being mean. Like, I can't believe you're doing this to me. It's like you
yeah,
fuck some guy, and now we're like, you fuck some guy. We're not even like saying it in like a nasty way. I agree with both of you. I love being with his characters. I loved being there. I thought not getting a payoff on the rat lifts. Like, listen, I'm glad he didn't kill them all, but
That
like
was
it was
gonna be
like
dark.
I need to know more about what's going to be happening. I thought the Piper like epiphany
Mm,
was like kind of funny and
loved
pretty
it.
Yeah.
real. I don't think it would have happened
Hilarious.
overnight, but it would have eventually happened. I
It made me feel like what Megan would say if she came back from like one night sleeping in a
I wouldn't
in a
even
hotel in a Holiday Inn because she's like I thought it
I
was
wouldn't
gonna
even
be a Hilton
attempt.
and then it wasn't.
I wouldn't if
She thought
I
she
come
thought the
and
commissary was gonna have that little button that you press that makes a waffle. She's like, they didn't even
there's
have
It didn't even have
waffles.
no
it.
fucking
And there was,
chance.
yes. And then
No,
somebody
I
had a
was like,
dog that was from a shelter. And it was just like really scary.
listen, I don't know that Ames isn't a rescue. I, what my issue was with the finale is everything that I thought was going to happen is what happened exactly. Like it was like I knew Chelsea was going to die because she was
Oh,
like the most likable
Mm.
character. I knew Walter was probably going to do something fucked up to make it happen, and I knew that that was his dad the whole time. So it was like there weren't really any like shocks, and I really wanted there to be like a twist I wasn't expecting. And so that was the only like
I
I
guess
will.
letdown.
yeah, go ahead,
I
Sam.
will say that like I thought the twist that I was expecting someone to die from the fruit. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought the head fake of the fruit to
Hmm.
him not actually dying and was kind of beautiful and they all just had like their own little growth journeys, the kids. I will say the other thing that people really were saying online was that Belinda, pulled a Tanya and like just became
Yeah.
like another evil
Yeah.
person. But from what I've also read was that, Tanya approached Belinda about starting her own spa. It was never Belinda's idea to
No.
start a spa. And she told her, "Oh, you should start your own and I'll give you the money." And then she pulled out and like gave her that speech.
Yep.
Well, Belinda always wanted to start her own, and then Porn Chai approached her and was like, "Let's do it together." And she
His
set
name
a
was,
boundary.
excuse me,
She
what was his
set a
name?
Porn
boundary.
chai.
Porn Chai.
I did
Yeah,
not know.
I
I
know.
didn't catch that. I didn't
Yeah,
catch
that's
that.
his name, Porn Chai, which is also its
I
own
would make
thing.
some porn and some chai with him.
Yeah. Well,
Whoa.
she set a boundary when he asked her that. She was like, I can't commit to that and I'm just not sure. So it
Yeah.
wasn't like she was like,
Okay.
"Yeah, let's do it," and then ran off with the money
Yeah.
and didn't do it. Like
No,
she
I
set a
was
boundary
happy
with
for
him.
her.
Yeah,
Let me
me too.
let me ask you guys this. If you were in her situation, would you take the 5 mil or would you go to the police?
Oh, I would take the 5 mil and be like, fine." No, no, I don't know actually, because I
I
love
have too much
my
anxiety.
dream
I
is to
think I would.
testify at a murder trial and be a
Yeah.
witness. So like, yeah, I don't
I
know.
would I
Yeah.
would be I would be too worried that he would eventually get caught and that they would see that he paid off this woman $5 million and she left Thailand immediately. I'd be too worried.
Mm,
Yeah, it's like you would then probably need to go into like witness protection because Gary is insane.
yeah, Gary's
So it's
insane.
like he's capable of anything. Producer Eddie is telling us that there was a Piper Zion relationship.
Hmm.
What? And that Saxon was supposed to be nice to the gals at the end and then wasn't. And Saxon, he just wasn't going to be able to have that growth. Saxon almost had, I guess he read a book.
You
Saxon
read a
read a
book?
book, but he read a book to try and fuck someone. And then when she didn't want to fuck him, he was like, well, I'm not going to read that book anymore.
Yeah.
So Saxon
Essentially, yes.
kind of stayed
I
the same.
didn't need I think what really just like threw me for a loop in the beginning and I just felt like it was not needed. It was just like so uncomfortable was the fucking brothers.
I needed it.
I
I needed
Yeah.
didn't.
it.
I
I
really
really,
didn't.
I really needed it. I know that there is this story out there floating around how there was like an actress who went, filmed the entire show, has pictures, and then
Oh,
just
I heard
isn't
the
in it.
same thing. Could
And
you
like,
imagine? Oh
and
my
like
God.
those things do happen, and that type of shit is like crazy. Can you imagine being in like the deadline? You're like, I'm going to Thailand for months on end.
Mm.
But yeah, I could watch those three friends and Parker Posey. I
I
really
will
thought,
say, I will say the first season was what, 6 episodes? Then we got 7 episodes the last season. Maybe we just need, because as much as like people are complaining about it being like, that was boring, his world building and
beautiful.
his characters are really so
Yeah.
interesting that we all tune in every single week. Also, one of the complaints that I saw was just like, don't you think the TripAdvisor would be catching up to White Lotus at this point? Like, what the fuck are they going to do next season? How are they're going to need
Yeah.
to
Where are
change
they
the name
going?
of this hotel?
I love that
Well, and
people
he
are like,
was,
why would there be suicide fruits at a wellness resort?
I know.
That too.
Mike White was on Survivor, so it's like maybe they're going
I
to do a
know.
Survivor episode. Um, yeah, I really was hoping Parker Posey knew about the money,
I know. And
and was like two
stowing it
steps
away.
ahead. But
Mhm.
it was really funny for Duke to blow that lead, and then for all of the Ratliff memes to come out of him in the Duke shirt. I
Oh,
do have
so, yeah.
I do have a sports bitch nominee this week.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm calling it Sports Mama. It is Meredith Goudreau, the widow of Johnny, the NHL player who died. She gave birth to another baby boy this past week, Carter Michael Goudreau, same middle name as his daddy, 8 pounds, 3 ounces, exact same as his daddy. He looks just like his
Oh,
daddy, too. I love you so much, my baby. We are going to have so much fun. I can't wait to give you the best life, my special boy
I
forever.
can't handle. Yeah,
I can't handle that either.
that
Really
is
sweet. So, but like
intense.
to just have that positive outlook and know, like, you know what, you're here and you're going to have a beautiful life, and your dad is looking down on us. I'm just like, I'm so happy for that family that she had a healthy, safe pregnancy and delivery. And I'm just so like emotional anytime I see them. And it feels like
Hmm.
they've really come together as like such a beautiful community in the NHL to support them.
And what about your baby?
Sorry.
Is your baby what
Oh
size? Is
gosh.
your baby the
Okay.
size of a hockey net?
He is, it's hockey is in the title of what he is. But
Hockey helmet?
Gloves?
mm-mm,
Glove?
mm-mm.
The
So it's a
fuck?
little misleading.
Arena?
It feels like the
uh,
size of an arena.
it's a little misleading.
So
Hockey
like maybe
stick?
it's not ice
Hockey
hockey.
skate?
Oh,
Oh,
field
rollerblades?
hockey?
Field hockey what?
Stick?
Stick?
No, that'd be
Mask?
poking out of me.
Field hockey. Oh, what's the bottom of the stick? The
Club?
scooper. Field
Mm.
hockey shin
Think
guards?
yeah, field hockey shin guards.
No
Read
way.
it.
Oh,
Field hockey shin guards. It's
Who
like
oh
guys,
is
my
who
gosh.
and
is
also
making this app?
also you can think of him as the size of a giant food truck soft pretzel.
Oh,
Which is also a sports item, please. I know
the
it's in the snack category, but
I just
You
put the
guys
gal
love.
that was kicked off of White Lotus in the chat. What a
ugh,
fucking bummer.
Yeah.
And she
Okay.
has all of
justice
these
for
photos.
Franicorn.
Has all of these photos on set. You'll
Isn't that
see
crazy?
with all the actors. Patrick Schwarzenegger. What? Oh my god, that would be like the most heartbreaking thing in the world.
Oh, and okay, so the first comment says, and they replace you with a white girl. So they recast her part.
This was
So I
maybe
wonder,
Greg's girlfriend, the one that's
Oh,
maybe.
always. Oh,
that makes
interesting.
sense. Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
does make
Yeah, because she's
sense.
with Chelsea. They recast her. Wow.
Wonder why. I think
Drama.
the thing that I kept thinking, and maybe this is part of the reason I don't know, but like when were on the boat with all those like Thai women that were with the rich men,
Hideous man.
I just kept thinking some of these are lady boys.
Yeah,
And so
and Godspeed.
maybe just because of the stereotype of Thailand, they didn't want people to think that that is what was going on with Greg or something.
Mm,
I mean,
Hmm.
that
mm.
is maybe we should cut this from this conversation because we made it sound like
No, it
I'm
was,
being really insensitive, but I mean, I don't know.
yeah, I do know like a handful of like balding white men that have gone to
Hmm.
Gone
islands
to.
to find women, you know.
Oh, you know them.
Well, like friends of friends or brother, not my brother. My brother's
What?
state. No, I'm saying like, loose out. And like I was talking to a friend. She was like, yeah, remember my brother did that? And I was like, oh my God, I forgot.
That is so wild. Okay, well, this has been a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
We're not taking any more weeks off until we
we'll
do. And we will not be apologizing for it.
I'm going to be in Santa Barbara this weekend. On the 12th, and then I'll be opening for Chelsea Handler at the Cosmo in Vegas next Friday.
Fun.
Oh, fun.
I'm opening for a superstar next week. Also, I'm opening for Sarah Tiana. Where are we, Sarah? The Improv in Irvine?
Brea.
Brea. On the
Get
17th.
those pretzel sticks.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Love a comedy show pretzel.
Yeah.
Okay, gals.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Do it. Thanks, bitches.
Toodly doodly.